Test, test. Well, good morning, everybody. I'm Adam Seal. I almost said Mr. Seal because I just started school, but yeah, I am Mr. Seal also. But I'm Adam Seal, and I'm here today to talk to you guys a little bit about the Paraguay trip that we took, and also a little bit about Honduras that we were able to go to. Amber Pittman and I also went, and some other members of the congregation have been going throughout the years to Honduras as well. So I'm just going to start talking, and when it comes up, it comes up. Oh, we're here. Good to go. Lots of slides, lots of information. It's hard when you have like 1,000 pictures to pick just a few, and I didn't put as many food pictures this time as I did last time, so we're going to go pretty quickly. The Palm Beach Lakes members that went, we have Maria, Phil and Mary Porter, Gwen Lyons, Giselle Smith, Joanne Rogers, and myself. And we just had an epic adventure down there serving the Lord. I know that, we're all Christians and we can reflect that through our daily lives, but it's just so amazing, and I just thank everybody for their support in making that trip possible for us to go out there and to have that opportunity to spread the word. So Paraguay, as you guys have heard before, is located in South America, and we're right here. It's a landlocked country, same time zone as Florida, and you can see it right there. We spent most of our time in Asunción, which is the capital city, and the last time we went to Paraguay about 2 years ago, we spent all the time there, but this time we were focused on going out into the neighboring city. It's pronounced Ñemby. It looks like it's pronounced Nemby, but you say Ñemby, and we had fun. A lot of us had fun trying to pronounce that over the week. June 28th through July 7th. So the current mission team up there, you guys can see, you've seen presentations of them before, but the Blackmer family, the Spradlins, the Yegros family, Hardens, Eliezer Perez down here on the left, my left, your left, my right. The story about Eliezer is, from what I understand, Troy had gone up to Panama and somehow made a connection with Eliezer, and he had completed the preaching school up there, and he really was interested in coming down to Paraguay and help out with the work down there. So he is now Asunción, Iglesia de Cristo Asunción's missionary to Ñemby, and he's helping start the congregation over there. So there were some really cool changes to go back 2 years later and see the different changes going on. You can see here on the left before, the congregation inside of the building was all facing front, but then they knocked out a few walls and took out the little lobby area, and now it can fit a lot more people. They did some renovations. The new things going on, really exciting, the preaching school they have there, the new baptistry, and they have dorm rooms now that they've converted into the building that was behind in the backyard. So some of the preaching school students, it's really cool. They do have the female, Karen. She does the same type of work they do, but obviously it's a little bit different because she's female, but she's still participating in the classes there. And she just really wanted to become more knowledgeable in the Word. And she really has a passion for that. And she works with the other ladies in the congregation. So she's in the school. And then Enrique, Paolo, Ramon, and William, those are some of the other students that they have right now, if I have my facts right. I hope I do. So far, so good. So getting there was an adventure. We took off from Miami. Just driving down to Miami is always an adventure. You guys know that. So getting to the airport safely was great. And then we had to fly to Sao Paulo, Brazil. And I think that's about a 7-hour flight, but the plane was pretty roomy. I didn't get to sit next to anybody, but I made new friends. And then from Sao Paulo, we had to go to Asunción from there, and it's about 2 hours. So all in all, it's about 10 hours to get there. We were pretty exhausted once we got there, but good things were to come. All right, we made it. This is a picture of us in the airport at Asunción. You can see we're all really excited to be there. Well, maybe just excited to go to sleep, but anyway. So I'm going to go from here forward, just kind of like a day, what we did each day. So we got there really early, June 29th, and we got there about 2 in the morning. That day we had lunch at this really awesome restaurant, and we did tour the building. We had a devotional, and the ladies went to a tea, and then the guys played soccer, but I was actually the only guy that played. Phil supervised, but I played with the other guys there, the members of the congregation there. And then Sunday, June 30th, we had the worship service there. We were able to reunite with the people we had seen 2 years before. We went to this like Texas Day Brazil version in Paraguay, but it's even better. Well, I've never been Texas Day Brazil, but I really want to go. We spent a little bit of time recuperating. We were pretty exhausted, and then we had our evening worship, and we were able to hear about what we were going to be doing that week. So here we are at church that morning, and then this is, the really epic restaurant that everyone loves to go to. That's where they typically take people when they first arrive in Paraguay. You go to church and then you go here. That's how they do it. So here's Maria, and she's in front of this map, and that's Ñemby. That was going to be our focus area for spreading this word, spreading the word and the work. The story about Ñemby is a lot of the members of the congregation have been driving, they usually ride a bus, but they've been riding a bus like upwards of an hour or an hour and a half just to get to church on Sundays in the capital city of Asunción. So the Martinez, Vicente, it was really cool because we had met him 2 years before, and he was studying at that point, and now 2 years later, he's a believer. His family are all believers, and now they want to open their home that they have and have church there so that they can have their own, the members of that area don't have to travel so far on Sundays. They can have La Iglesia de Cristo in Ñemby. So we were excited to do that work. So Monday, July 1st through Wednesday, our main focus was getting the word out that there was going to be a meeting on Friday evening of that week at the new congregation, and then there was going to be the worship on Sunday, and then also Saturday as well, there was going to be something going on. So we spent all that time spreading out the word. We had information about the new church that was starting, information about the Bible, and we were actually going door to door and talking to people and asking if they would have a Bible study or they'd like to have us come back for a Bible study later on in the week. Pretty much every morning we got there about 8:30, and we had a devotional, and we did some prayers, and we had some singing. And then from 9:30 to 11, pretty much 11:30 every morning, we were out there in the streets. We went to the plaza a few times, and it's really cool. They take this thing called a siesta in the afternoon. I love it. I wish we could bring it here, but you can't go out after the lunchtime because everybody's sleeping. And apparently in Asunción they still do that too, but we didn't see it a lot the first time that some of us went. But outside of the capital city where it's a little more rural, everyone takes a siesta. So you don't want to be rude and start talking about the new congregation, waking people up. You want to wait till they're awake. So we would go back to the house from 12 to about 2:30, take a siesta, have some food, and then we'd go back out from 3 to 5. Throughout the week, we also did some member visits as well, where we went out to different homes and visited members. All right, so here's like a typical street of Ñemby, and here we are walking. We're just going to be going door to door, talking to people. A lot of people they don't have door bells, so you have to clap twice, and then people will come out and start talking to you. Here's just some pictures here of Ñemby. And it was really cool that we had the members of the congregation that were going to be in Ñemby actually walking with us throughout the town and, helping us out with our Spanish. A lot of us were learning Spanish, but, we needed help. So it was really cool to have them with us, guiding us and being like that first contact to introduce the Lord to the people of Ñemby. This was really cool. Just going up to someone and speaking to them for the first time and saying, "Would you like to learn about Jesus?" And them saying yes. It's so awesome. Like, a lot of times I feel here in the United States that we try to get people just to be responsive and to listen and to maybe even try to come to church. I know I've talked to several of my friends and invited them upwards of 10 times, even more. And to just see someone for the first time and say, would you like to study about Jesus? Oh, well, I'm doing the dishes right now, I'm cooking, but come back after 3. And we go back there and we're sitting there in their front yard, studying about the Lord, studying the Bible. It was just so awesome. These were some kind of hidden pictures I took. I had my leg like this, and I had the camera, my phone at the angle so I could kind of get Eliezer in action. And it was really cool because they paired me up with William, one of the preaching students, and Eliezer, the missionary. And I'm working on my Spanish, but I can read the Bible in Spanish, but I don't know exactly what I'm saying. So I would be the guy that read the passages. William was the kind of crazy one who got people to say yes, even if they initially didn't want to. And then Eliezer was the one who kind of took the message and went with it. So here's some pictures of the epic food that we had there, and also the lunchtime and siesta time. It was so great. Vicente's wife just created these huge meals for us every day, and we were definitely well fed while we were there in Paraguay. Here's a picture of us on one of our first days where we were all passing out the flyers, and we came back and had this delicious drink with, it's mate, it's the herbs that they have, and they mix it with hot water, sometimes cold water, but then this was mixed with milk, and that's the little cup that we're like, yeah, this is awesome, it tastes good. There we are all. And Vicente is the guy in the striped green and white shirt, and 2 years ago he was studying the Bible, and now he's opening up his home with his family, and they are the members who are opening their home for the new congregation there. It's just awesome. All right, so one of the focuses, foci, I guess, is the plural of focus, but like cactus, cacti. Anyway, we spent some of the time in Nyembu's plaza, and we would go there, and there was lots of people coming through, lots of people who had their little stands set up and everything. That's the Catholic Church. I just thought it was a cool picture. We didn't really. Okay, well, I did go in there with William, and he put a flyer in there, but I didn't think that was appropriate. But have to spread it everywhere. Okay, I have permission to show this photo. Joanne told me I could do it. All right. She's like, it's your picture. You can do what you want with it. Okay, so this is mate, and this is Joanne trying it for the first time. A picture says 1,000 words. It's an acquired taste, could be the caption. All right, so here we are. I'm attempting to try it. I don't think I've tried it yet, but my thumb is up to show. But there we are right there. That's William on the right. He was kind of my right-hand man. It was cool to be with him and learn Spanish. I could only speak Spanish the entire time. So while I was there, he didn't speak any English. I mean, he said he didn't. I think it was just he's trying to get me to learn more Spanish. And so here are some of the members that we visited. Up in this corner up here, the upper left-hand corner, this is an amazing story. I hope I can get all the facts right and remember it correctly. This lady right here, I can't remember her name. You remember her name?
Her last name is, I believe, Oracola.
Senora Oracola. Apparently, from what I understand, is that her and her husband came to Paraguay, and they were like the initial people who started spreading the word. Did they come from Uruguay?
She was from Uruguay. Her husband was from Chile.
Her husband was from Chile. She was from Uruguay, and they came to Paraguay in the 50s? I don't know. We don't know the
I think it's in the 70s.
In the 70s, but they were the direct people who started spreading the word, and this is kind of how it all started, from what I understand. Her husband, unfortunately, has passed away, but it was just so amazing to meet that sister in Christ. All right, so the buses. William has a lot of great ideas, but sometimes they're not the best ones to take. I learned that very quickly, but you just roll with it. His idea was to flag the buses as they're coming down and ask the bus driver, is it okay with you if we run on this bus and start passing out information about Nyembu? And most of the bus drivers, everyone we ran into, said yes, except for one guy. So we would go up there, and William would start preaching this mini lesson in Spanish, and then I would run around and hand all of the flyers to everyone, and then we'd ride the bus 4 stops down the road, jump off, come back up, and like do it all over again. And like within, I don't know, a couple hours, we had passed out like over 500 flyers about the information. It was just awesome. One day, we weren't paying attention though, and we got out of the city, and we didn't know how we were going to get back. And I had learned at that point, tenemos un problema, necesitas call Troy or whatever. So William took out his cell phone and he called Troy, and Troy told us what to do. Here's some more streets of Ñemby. It's just such a beautiful area. Just the vegetation and the trees, and it was really cool. Oh, there was this one time where a dog bit me. I tried using Cesar Millan's, Confidence, the dog whisperer, if you've ever seen that show. And I was like, perro malo. But the dog bit me anyways, and that was, it didn't draw blood, but it was an interesting story, which I milked for the entire trip every time I saw a 4-legged furry creature. So Thursday now, we're here to Thursday, July 4th, and it was so cool. We had this opportunity to go to this Mirta's house, I believe. And yes, it's up there. Sorry, I'm talking really fast because I still have so much more to share with you guys, and I realized my watch, the battery's dead. Phil will just tell me when I've got like 5 left, huh? 9:30. Okay, we're good then. All right, so we were able to go to Mirta's house, and apparently the electricity didn't work in the house, or she didn't have lights in all of the rooms except for the kitchen. And so Troy went and got a whole bunch of electrical equipment and was able to fix it, and then Josh was there helping us. So we were really blessed with the opportunity to serve one of the members in the congregation. And then we had a barbecue at the evening at the Yegros family's house. All right, so here we are. You guys can see some pictures in action of Gwen down there, and we got all the people up in the corner. Josh is mixing up stuff over there, whitewash for the walls. And then you can see up there we have Mary, and then Joanne's kind of in the back, and Giselle, and they're painting the whitewashing the walls back there. That was really cool. We painted the whole inside of the living room, and then we painted the outside. We whitewashed the walls, and then helped in the kitchen a little bit, and she was just so happy. Okay, this is Mirta, and her sister's name is Pochi. I think I have this all correct. Up in the upper left, correct? Up in the upper left corner there is their mother, who is 90 years old or 91 years old, somewhere around there. She had, apparently, according to Mirta and Pochi, she has a great memory, but, she just has, she's so old, it's really hard for her to move, but all of her wits are still there. They've been studying with her for years and years and years, and she was finally baptized, I don't know, like about 6 months ago or something. An ambulance came to the house and got her so they could move her, and they were able to baptize her in the pool somewhere. But I just thought it was so cool, the power of the Lord. It doesn't matter how old you are, if you have that heart and you study, it's just amazing. I'm like getting chills just thinking about how cool that is. And so here we are down there in the corner, and you guys can see those pictures. How cool is it to, I gotta go back. Anyway, it was just so cool. After we had worked all day, we were kind of tired, and we come back, and then Nora Yegros and Ike had decorated their home that they had just recently moved into to celebrate Independence Day in South America in Paraguay on July 4th. It was really cool. So we had worked all day, and it was just so cool to come back to the house. Here's Josh. We had like these big slabs of meat and this like rotisserie grill like on this charcoal thing. I mean, I had never seen a contraption like that, but we had like tons of grilled meat. It was awesome. Here we all are in the evening, just hanging out, having salad and delicious food, and it was just such a great time to just be together with brethren there. Here's another photo of everyone hanging out inside, having a good time. Most of the food is already off the plate. That's how good it was. And then Josh, he got some fireworks, and Nora had hung a U.S. flag in the backyard, and it was just so cool. We were lighting off fireworks, and it was just such a great time. All right, so Friday, July 5th, we had a devotional again. We had some Bible studies where we had gone into the neighborhood because we wanted to revisit our contacts, and then this was going to be the night where everybody was going to be able to come to the house, and we started advertising that this was going to be happening. We're going to have an informational meeting to hear about the congregation that was going to be starting up, and anyone in the neighborhood could come that we had given flyers to, and also people at the plaza. So here we're hanging the sign. This is where it's going to be. Now the Martinez family owns a little, what's the Spanish word for the little poquito supermercado, like a tienda or whatever, but basically it's just a little supermarket, but they don't have everything there, but all the neighborhoods don't go to these big, Publix and Winn-Dixies. It's just someone will have a little building by the side of their house, or it might even be in the front of their house, and you just go and get what you need, and they have lots of different things you can purchase. But to your left would be where his shop is at. Saturday, July 6th, we went sightseeing. It was like our last full day there. I should tell you guys a little bit about what happened at the meeting. That Friday, we did have a lot of people there that we had brought from Asunción. The congregation there on Sacramento Street came. Did we have 3 visitors? Was it 3 visitors or 1?
I think there was 1 or 2.
Okay. At first, it was kind of disappointing because we had passed out all these flyers and stuff, and then like 1 or 2 people came. But then 1 or 2 people, if we're saved, if we're bringing 1 or 2 people to Christ, it's completely worth it. And that was just the informational meeting. And then we were hoping that we would hear that more people showed up on Sunday when they had their first official day at La Iglesia de Cristo en Yambo. All right, so Saturday was our last full day there, and this was the day where we got to go out into the city and see the different sites, and we were able to go shopping in this little market, see the Panteón de los Héroes, which is like their building that they have to memorialize the veterans and the people who have died fighting in Paraguay. We had a siesta, and then that evening I was able to go to the young adult meeting there in Asunción. That was so cool because they have like every single one of their young adult members was there. I couldn't believe it. It's like everyone was there. They were all hanging out and singing songs and worshiping the Lord and studying His Word. That was really cool. And then we had like our last hangout at the Yegros' house and saying goodbye and everything. All right, so here's the Mercado, and you can get really cool little carved figurines and stuff. They have these containers that you would put the mate in. It's like the dried tea and herbs, and you can see those up in the upper left-hand corner. That's where you pour your water in, and then you use a straw that is like a metal straw. It's kind of like it looks like a spoon, kind of. It has like a filter on the bottom so you don't get all the green stuff. But and then that's the Panteón de los Héroes, and soccer's huge down there. We heard like fireworks and heard all this noise and commotion because one of the Olympia, one of the teams there, had advanced to the next championship or whatever. All right, so here's the Panteón de los Héroes. It's just a beautiful building, the architecture down there, and you can walk in and see the Paraguayan flags, and you read about the different soldiers and stuff. It's just really cool to walk around there. That's like a side view of it, and we were really excited to be there because they had this like maybe the National Army Band or something, because they had people playing in their instruments and they were like marching and doing their thing, and they had the guns and stuff. It was cool. And then we were able to go to La Costanera, which I basically think means the coast. I don't know. It's right there by the Rio Paraguay, the river Paraguay and the bay right there. And they had created this new area for people to walk and hang out at. And they were opening up. And from what Troy was telling me, they're trying to compete with this other city called Encarnacion, which also has like this beautiful coast area by this lake where everyone goes to. What I found out, though, is I kind of diverged from the group and I wanted to go exploring, and so I walked down and I was like, I'm going to dip my hand into the water. I'm going to find the only beach I can find close to Asunción, and I'm going to dip my hand